Right now, approximately 560 kilometers above Earth, the James Webb Space Telescope is capturing images that completely confuse scientists. Giant galaxies formed when the universe was still an infant, black holes growing at speeds that defy the laws of physics, and planets with atmospheres that should not exist. Are you ready to dive into these discoveries that are rewriting the story of the cosmos? Let's begin. When the universe was only 400 million years old, something happened that science still cannot explain. Researchers expected to see small, primitive galaxies struggling to form their very first stars. Instead, Webb revealed something entirely different: massive galactic giants filled with billions of mature stars. These cosmic titans possess masses even greater than our Milky Way. Even more astonishing, they already existed when the universe was only 3% of its current age. Think of it this way: it's like finding a fully grown, massive oak tree in a field that was planted just yesterday. According to all existing models, galaxies should grow slowly over billions of years through countless mergers and cycles of star formation. But these ancient giants seem to require no such patience. It's as if they formed almost instantly after the Big Bang. Dr. Emma Rodriguez from the Space Telescope Science Institute perfectly captures this shock. Her team expected cosmic babies, but instead found cosmic titans. These complex galaxies feature complex spiral structures, supermassive black holes at their centers, and chemical signatures that should have taken ages to develop. Yet they were already there while the universe was still learning how to make its very first atoms shine. The implications of this are terrifying for cosmologists. If galaxies were able to grow this fast, then dark matter must behave in a completely different way than we thought. Either gravity operated much faster in the early universe, or there are unknown chapters in cosmic history that we have yet to uncover. Some scientists are now even suggesting that these galaxies formed from primordial black holes emerging directly from the Big Bang. What makes this discovery even stranger is the number of these impossible galaxies. Webb has identified dozens of them in the early cosmos. This is not a rare coincidence. It indicates a widespread phenomenon. Every new observation forces scientists to recalculate the fundamental constants that govern how matter behaves across space and time. Even more puzzling, these galaxies emit light at wavelengths where they should not yet exist. Heavy elements such as oxygen and carbon, which normally form inside dying stars, appear in abundances that would require millions of stellar generations. Yet these galaxies seem to have formed before such stellar factories ever had time to operate. It's like finding gold coins in a mine before mining itself was ever invented. These discoveries are forcing astronomers to consider radical possibilities. Perhaps the universe went through multiple phases of creation that we have never been able to detect. Perhaps time flowed differently during the cosmic dawn. Or perhaps our entire understanding of how gravity shapes matter across cosmic distances needs a complete revision. The most disturbing possibility is this: these galaxies may have formed through processes that no longer operate in our universe. The forces that shaped the cosmos in its infancy could be fundamentally different from the physics we observe today. But if giant galaxies can form at impossible speeds, then what about the supermassive black holes at their cores? About 6,500 light-years from Earth, in the heart of the Crab Nebula, stars are being born in regions where no stars should exist at all. Traditional star formation requires specific conditions: dense clouds of gas and dust, temperatures around -240 degrees, and millions of years for gravity to slowly compress matter and ignite nuclear fusion. The process is delicate, predictable, and long believed to be well understood. Or so we thought, until Webb began observing stars forming in environments that should destroy them instantly.
These rebellious stars are forming inside active supernova remnants, in regions where temperatures reach millions of degrees and radiation should vaporize any stellar nursery. It's like watching flowers bloom inside a blast furnace. Powerful stellar winds from nearby massive stars should scatter any gas cloud long before it can collapse into new stars. Yet Webb is capturing images of bright protostars emerging from these cosmic hellscapes. Even stranger, these impossible stars are forming far faster than normal mechanisms allow. While conventional starbirth takes millions of years, these stellar rebels complete their formation in just thousands of years. They seem to skip every stage of the standard stellar evolution model, jumping from a gas cloud to a burning star as if someone pressed a cosmic fast-forward button. Webb's images reveal something that challenges nearly every rule of astrophysics. Inside the Orion Nebula, young stars are forming in extreme gravitational environments that should tear them apart. Tidal forces from nearby massive stars create conditions similar to being stretched on a cosmic torture device. Yet these stellar infants not only survive, they grow out of the chaos itself.
Dr. Michael Chen from Harvard University is one of the scientists studying these abnormal formations. His team discovered that these impossible stars contain heavy elements that should not exist in such young stellar populations. Creating these elements requires multiple cycles of stellar death and rebirth. Yet on cosmic timescales, these stars appear as if they formed just yesterday. The mystery deepens when their energy outputs are examined. These stars burn far brighter and hotter than their masses should allow. A star with the mass of the Sun is producing energy as if it were 50 times more massive. They appear to access fusion processes that our physics textbooks claim are impossible at such low stellar masses. What frightens astronomers the most is the rate at which these impossible stars are appearing. Webb detects the formation of new ones every few months. This suggests that the mechanism creating them is accelerating. The phenomenon also seems to be spreading into other regions of space that were previously considered stable. Some scientists propose that these stars are forming through interactions with dark matter that we have yet to detect. Others believe they represent a new phase of stellar evolution triggered by cosmic conditions unique to our current era. The most radical theories suggest that these stars form through quantum tunneling effects that allow matter to bypass normal gravitational constraints. These stellar rebels do not appear to be random anomalies. Instead, they seem to follow patterns we do not yet understand. They cluster in specific regions and may even interact through gravitational waves, creating synchronized formation events across vast distances. If stars can ignore the fundamental rules of formation, then what about the planets orbiting them? About 50 light-years away, around a star known as TOI 715, there exists a planet that should not be able to breathe at all. Webb analyzed the atmosphere of this distant world and found something that challenges everything we know about planetary chemistry. The planet has higher oxygen levels than Earth, impossible concentrations of nitrogen, and water vapor suspended in atmospheric layers that should collapse under their own weight. It's like finding a fish floating in mid-air. According to planet formation models, this world should be nothing more than a bare rock. Yet, despite orbiting far too close to its star for liquid water, it somehow maintains massive cloud systems covering its continents. The atmospheric pressure is 3 times that of Earth, yet instead of crushing everything beneath a toxic blanket, it creates weather patterns that appear almost designed for life. The truly disturbing discovery came when Webb detected industrial pollutants in the atmosphere. Compounds that on Earth originate only from manufacturing processes appear here in concentrations suggesting massive industrial activity. And yet, this planet has no supposed intelligent life, no technology, and no reason to naturally produce these chemicals. Dr. Sarah Kim from the Exoplanet Research Institute is tracking these abnormal atmospheres across dozens of worlds. Her findings indicate that at least 30% of rocky planets possess atmospheric compositions that violate known chemistry. Elements appear in chemically impossible combinations, maintained by energy sources for which no known explanation exists. The most shocking example is a planet known as HD 40307G. Its atmosphere contains pure metallic hydrogen, floating in gaseous form at temperatures where it should instantly liquefy. This hydrogen forms complex structures resembling crystalline formations, creating atmospheric layers that behave like solid materials despite remaining entirely gaseous.
Even stranger are the atmospheric tides. On Earth, our atmosphere is relatively stable, but these exoplanets exhibit massive atmospheric bodies that move back and forth across the planet's surface like ocean waves. Entire atmospheric layers migrate from the day side to the night side, following patterns that resemble mathematical sequences rather than chaotic weather systems. Webb has detected atmospheric lightning storms that last for years and produce electrical discharges visible across interstellar distances.
These storms generate plasma formations that maintain geometric shapes, pointing to an unknown organizing principle operating within planetary atmospheres. The chemical signatures tell an impossible story. Heavy elements that normally require stellar nucleosynthesis to form appear in unusually pure states, as if they were manufactured rather than produced by natural processes. Their isotope ratios do not match any known mechanism of star or planet formation.
One of the most disturbing discoveries is atmospheric synchronization. Planets separated by dozens of light years are exhibiting identical atmospheric changes occurring simultaneously. When the atmosphere of one planet changes its composition, others follow within hours, despite being far beyond any distance where known forms of communication could operate. Some atmospheres contain self-replicating molecular structures that become more complex over time without any identifiable energy source. These atmospheric organisms, if that is what they are, appear to be terraforming their host planets through processes that operate faster than biological evolution. The implications are shocking. Either our understanding of planetary chemistry is fundamentally flawed, or these worlds are being actively altered by intelligences we cannot yet detect. Yet even these atmospheric mysteries pale in comparison to what Webb has discovered about the black holes powering these systems. At the center of the GN-Z11 galaxy, 11 billion light-years from Earth, sits a black hole that should not exist. This cosmic monster contains about 40 million solar masses, yet it formed when the universe was only 400 million years old. According to Einstein's equations, black holes can grow only by consuming matter at a specific maximum rate known as the Eddington limit. Even if it were fed continuously at this theoretical maximum, it would require several billion years for such a black hole to reach its current size. But somehow, it has grown to impossible proportions in far less time than physics allows. This discovery forces astronomers to confront an unsettling reality. Either our understanding of black hole physics is fundamentally wrong, or these ancient giants formed through mechanisms that no longer operate in our universe. Webb has detected dozens of these impossible black holes scattered throughout the early cosmos. Each one appears to violate the fundamental speed limits at which matter can fall into a gravitational well. They seem to have bypassed normal accretion rules entirely.
Instead of choking on their own brightness, they continue to devour entire stellar systems in enormous cosmic gulps.
Dr. James Wright from the Black Hole Research Consortium describes these objects as cosmic rule breakers. His calculations show that to reach their observed masses, these black holes would have needed to consume matter at rates nearly 100 times higher than the Eddington limit allows. At such feeding rates, the intense radiation produced should repel any incoming matter, making further growth physically impossible. The mystery deepens when examining how these black holes interact with their host galaxies. Instead of influencing star formation gradually over millions of years, they appear to reshape entire galactic structures almost instantly. Galactic forms that should have taken billions of years to develop instead appear fully formed around these impossible black holes, as if they had existed that way from the very beginning.
Even more disturbing is the fact that these ancient black holes emit energy signatures that match no known physics. They produce gravitational waves that arrive before the light from the same events. This suggests that they are somehow bending causality itself. Time appears to flow differently in their vicinity, with stellar orbits completing far faster than predicted by relativistic calculations. Webb detected something even stranger. These supermassive black holes appear to communicate with one another across vast cosmic distances. When one black hole changes its activity level, others respond within timeframes that imply faster-than-light information transfer. They seem to function as a network, coordinating their behavior through mechanisms that violate our understanding of space-time. The most disturbing discovery came from the analysis of X-ray emissions. These black holes generate energy patterns that match no known astrophysical process. Their radiation signatures suggest access to energy sources beyond the conversion of matter into energy described by Einstein's famous equation. They appear to be tapping into fundamental forces we have yet to discover.
Some scientists suggest that these black holes formed directly from the Big Bang itself. They may have emerged as primordial gravitational condensations, completely bypassing the normal path of stellar evolution. Others believe they represent gateways to parallel dimensions where different laws of physics apply. The implications deeply unsettle cosmologists. If black holes can ignore the fundamental limits of physics, then our entire understanding of gravity, space-time, and causality may be nothing more than approximations of far more complex realities. But the mysteries of black holes are only the beginning of Webb's assault on established science. Within the light arriving from the galaxy MAX J0417.51154, Webb detected something that rewrites the periodic table of cosmic history. This ancient galaxy, formed when the universe was only 500 million years old, contains concentrations of heavy elements such as gold, platinum, and uranium at levels that should not exist for another 10 billion years.
These elements normally form only during the explosive deaths of massive stars or through collisions between neutron stars. Yet while the cosmos had only just begun forming its very first stars, they appear here in pure and extraordinary abundances. This discovery violates everything we know about stellar nucleosynthesis. For heavy elements to accumulate in significant quantities, a long chain of multiple generations of stellar birth, life, and death is required. Each stellar generation produces progressively heavier elements, slowly enriching the cosmic inventory over billions of years. Finding these elements in such an early galaxy is like discovering a library filled with Shakespeare during the age of cave paintings. Dr. Lisa Martinez from the Cosmic Chemistry Laboratory is mapping these elemental anomalies across dozens of early galaxies.
Her research reveals that nearly half of the most ancient galaxies contain impossible elemental abundances. Elements that require neutron star collisions are appearing in galaxies where no neutron stars should yet exist.
The isotope ratios tell an even stranger story. On Earth, elements display predictable isotopic signatures based on their formation processes. But these ancient galaxies contain isotopes in ratios that match no known nuclear process. Some elements appear not to have formed through stellar evolution, but rather to have been manufactured. Webb detected something particularly disturbing in the Abell 2744 galaxy cluster. The ancient galaxies there contain technetium, an element so unstable that it should completely decay within a few million years. Yet these galaxies are billions of years old. The presence of technetium suggests either continuous production through unknown processes or a mechanism that violates the laws of radioactive decay. Even more mysterious are the rare earth elements detected at concentrations thousands of times higher than theoretical predictions. These elements typically form only in trace amounts through complex stellar processes, yet early galaxies appear to be producing them in bulk through mechanisms that leave no other observable signatures.
Element patterns indicate that these ancient galaxies have access to nuclear processes that no longer operate in our present universe. Some spectra reveal evidence of super-heavy elements with atomic numbers beyond anything on our periodic table. These theoretical elements should be impossibly unstable, yet they appear to remain consistent across cosmic timescales. The most disturbing discovery is the presence of organized elemental distributions. Instead of the random dispersion expected from chaotic stellar processes, these elements seem to follow mathematical patterns. Some galaxies display elemental abundances that match precise geometric ratios, as if a cosmic recipe were being followed. Webb has also detected elemental signatures suggesting that matter is being transformed at the atomic level while bypassing normal nuclear physics. Elements appear to convert from one form to another without producing the expected byproducts of nuclear reactions.
The results directly challenge our understanding of matter itself. Either the early universe operated under different physical laws that allowed rapid element synthesis, or these galaxies were seeded with heavy elements through processes science has yet to discover. Some researchers suggest that these elements arrived through interactions with parallel dimensions where different nuclear physics applies. Others believe the early universe contained exotic states of matter capable of rapidly synthesizing heavy elements through quantum tunneling effects. But even the element mysteries pale in comparison to Webb's discoveries showing that light itself behaves in impossible ways. 13 billion light-years away, in the deepest regions Webb can observe, ancient light carries messages that challenge the fundamental nature of reality. These photons began their journey when the universe was only 100 million years old, during the mysterious era when the first stars supposedly ignited. But the light signatures detected by Webb tell a story that matches none of the theoretical models of early stellar evolution. The spectra contain absorption lines corresponding to molecular structures far too complex to exist in the primordial universe. According to Big Bang nucleosynthesis, the early universe should have contained only hydrogen, helium, and trace amounts of lithium. The first stars were expected to be simple giants, burning pure hydrogen through basic nuclear fusion. Their light should have reflected this chemical simplicity. Instead, Webb detects the spectral fingerprints of complex organic molecules, heavy metals, and compounds that require sophisticated chemistry to form. Dr. Robert Kim of the Early Universe Research Center describes these observations as cosmic archaeology, uncovering impossible artifacts.
The light signatures indicate that these first stars hosted planetary systems with complex chemical cycles at a time when the universe was supposedly too young and too simple for such sophistication. But the most disturbing discovery lies in the polarization patterns of this ancient light. Light waves vibrate in specific orientations depending on what created them and what they encountered during their journey. Yet these primordial photons displayed polarization patterns suggesting they passed through structures that should not exist in empty space. Ancient starlight reveals something even stranger. Instead of the chaotic, violent signatures expected from primordial stellar furnaces, these first stars appear to have burned with remarkable stability and precision. Their energy output patterns suggest they were somehow regulated or controlled, maintaining consistent brightness for millions of years without the variability that characterizes all known stellar objects.
Webb has detected spectral lines showing that these ancient stars produced elements in almost perfectly matched ratios required for the formation of Earth-like planets. Instead of the random element production expected from early stellar nucleosynthesis, these stars appear to have generated specific chemical inventories, as if following a predefined formula. The light also carries information about the cosmic environment during the universe's infancy. Photons absorbed and re-emitted by primordial gas clouds reveal molecular signatures suggesting that complex organic chemistry was already operating, even when the cosmos was supposedly sterile and lifeless. The most mysterious finding is that ancient starlight exhibits periodic modulations repeated with mathematical precision. These brightness variations follow patterns suggesting that the first stars were somehow synchronized across vast cosmic distances, pulsing together in coherent rhythms spanning millions of light years. Some spectral features appear to encode information in binary patterns, resembling digital communication. The light variations match no known astrophysical process, yet display characteristics similar to engineered signals. It is as if these ancient stars were broadcasting messages across the cosmos.
The results are truly astonishing. Either the first stars formed through processes completely different from those we observe today, or the universe began with a level of organization and complexity that our current models cannot explain. Ancient light signatures suggest that intelligence may have emerged in the cosmos far earlier than we ever imagined, possibly even before the first galaxies were fully formed. In our next discoveries, we will explore these debates in greater depth. For now, good night.